Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. Different background today, back to normal. Somebody give me some shit for my other one saying it was low budget. So we back to normal. But yeah, we'll take a look at some altcoins today, requested by you. I've thrown out a tweet about 10 minutes ago asking for some alts. And we'll just have a run through some of those. We'll take a look at Bitcoin first and have a look at what's going on in a broader perspective, which is absolutely jack shit. Price pretty much range bound still. And then we'll have a look at some different assets, some altcoins chosen by you and myself. So we'll start off on Bitcoin. And let me just jump down to this chart where Putin is still crabbing along. Let's just extend that a little bit longer. This price action, 129 days, which is boring as hell. We're still, you could say this is the low range, this is the high range, and then this is the EQ at equilibrium. For any bullish price action, you really need to get some candles back above 21,400, and then from there we could reassess it, but still stagnant. Alts on these slight pumps up here, for example, Bitcoin hit 17,800. Altcoins died, but we've seen some really strong altcoins push back up. Some alts are doing well, some alts are doing okay. But like whenever we're making moves, for example, METIS, we'll start off with this one. We saw a major move to the upside, but every time we are getting these pushes up to the peaks, we're turning around and we're doing fairly decent retracements. If you look at this major move here, that was a big move. I went up to $49, full retracement nearly. We've come down to this region here, down towards 23, pushed up, retraced. We nearly retraced that entire move, actually, to be honest there. In fact, we did, yeah, because that's when we had that crash down to 17,800, and the rest of the market did follow it down, and we got savage work down to $22 there. So, what goes on here? Who knows? But we are retracing from this point. And if you're looking for some buys on METIS, I'd still consider looking at 25.80. That's probably a decent area. In terms of fibs, if you look at the start of the move there, up to the top, we are on that 618 level now. We're starting to lose it a little bit. We're kind of hugging that 618, that golden area. So it's a decent level to buy, to be honest. You would expect to bounce up. I think Spitty said this, Spitfire Traders said, look, the 786 is the new 618, and that's true. I've seen a lot of assets that have been pushing up, doing decent moves, but then retracing and tend to, in usual, whenever I'm looking for buys, I target that 382 and that 618 region. But a lot of assets, because the markets have been shit, is another word to explain it, they have been coming down in at this 786 level. So for me, if you're looking for some buys on METIS, then I would target $25, and I also would target 24. And who knows, we've been down to this level multiple times down here. I've always got this box in green here, and that's down at $23. So some levels there for you to buy. If you're looking to load up on METIS, use these fibs as buy-ins and place them down at $22. Still waiting to see what the market does. If the market does get a major shakeout, then you're going to look down at $19 and down at $14. If that happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm in a position for METIS now, and it's an asset that I'm personally looking to accumulate whenever we get these major dips, if they do come. If you're looking at take profit regions, we've got this big dotted line up here up at $32. This is one of my major buy points where I bought up here until the market shit the bed. I was happy with those buys. I'm still happy with those buys. I'm slightly underwater. But what counteracted that is that I managed to get some METIS down at around $19 down here before it bounced up back in July. Did a full retracement. Still in profit on most, so that's what keeping my portfolio afloat pretty much on my METIS buys. So yeah, levels to buy down here. Levels to sell is $32. If it does make it. If it doesn't, then we'll be taking profit lower. But if we break that, then you've got this level up here at 37, and then a major level up at 49. Next asset is Elrond. An asset that I've been accumulating. It's an asset that I'm really fond of recently. Ever since I've been working with UPark, which is incorporated the Elrond blockchain into their tokenomics, I've been really taking deep dives into Elrond, and it is fastly growing one of my favourite assets. We've got a lot of things coming up. The technology, it's rapid and faultless. And also there's some big news coming up at X Day in Paris next month, so I'm really excited to see what that is. There's been plenty of rumours. Somebody think there's a euro backed stable coin by Elrond. Who knows? There could be something like that which comes to fruition and comes to a table. But in terms of technology, everything I like the NFTs, I like Maya. Yeah, it's a solid asset. And I really wish I bought earlier, but I've been buying some down here within this range bound price action. And most assets are range bound, high range, low range, EQ. We're still above this EQ, which is bullish. We need to pretty much form a base here, which we are doing. And hopefully, if we do get a bit of a run on Bitcoin, you are going to see that that L1 push up there. So if you're looking for profit, $67 is that region. If you're looking for buys, then I'd use this EQ at 54 and the lower range at $42. Those are some levels that I would personally, chair's a bit squeaky, some levels that I would personally take a look at. So we've covered Metis, we've covered Elrond, Zilliqa, another asset which I'm not holding currently, but depending on how the market swings, if it does drop to the downside, then I've got some buy orders down here at 2.1 cent. It's currently at 2.8 cent. It's just one of those assets that I've always liked personally. One of the reasons I don't hold it, I mean, for the last, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 months, since Colin Miles left, I pretty much offloaded my baggies. One of the reasons I bought it. But the technology does speak for itself. It was the first protocol that invented sharding. It's a solid asset. And I will buy back if we do drop any further. You might think, Andy, fucking hell, it's already dropped a lot. Well, I know it has. It's dropped a hell of a lot. I mean, if you look at the highs up here, if we look at that in total drop from the highs to the lows, we've been up to 25 cent. It's actually done like a close to an 80% drop. And usually I do buy assets at that, but the market's just looking a little bit nasty. And we're starting to get some, well, potentially a weekly closure underneath this region here, which has been major support. If we do close below this on Sunday, then we are going to come down to 2.17. I think that's a given. If it doesn't, if this candle bounces back, because currently that weekly candle is absolutely dreadful. Look at that. Up to 3.6 and dumping. If we do get a closure above 3 cent, then I think there's good room that we can really start to push up and take profit at 3.8 cent. But if we do get this weekly closure below here, it will be the lowest weekly candle closure since November 2020. So that's 2 years ago. And that is very, very bearish in terms of technical analysis. In terms of fundamentals, I mean, who knows? The fundamentals are strong. But for me, yeah, if this closes down here, I'm going to look to buy down at 2.1 cent. And if we did lose that level as well, then you're looking at 1.2 cent. So don't make it sound like I'm fudding it. I'm not. It's an asset I like. But just going by technical analysis terms, these are opportunities that you could take yourself. If it does come to those levels, it comes down to those levels. If the fundamental is still building, things will progress. And these buy orders will eventually rocket back up. So yeah, it's a decent asset, one I would personally accumulate if we come down to this region. Sell levels I've mentioned there. We've got sell level at 3.8 cent and then a big TP level up here at 4.9 cent, which is just below that 5 cent mark. You see why it's selling off there, because people look to, your average investor will think, right, I bought it for 2.5 cent, I'm going to sell at 5 cent to 2x. Don't work like that. Usually get front run those orders, and if you're ever looking to sell, never sell on a round number. Like, for example, if you buy at $5, don't sell at $10, sell at about $9.97, because orders just never quite make it, so just drop it a few cents lower. But I think that's it. We've covered enough assets. So we've covered 3 of the main ones that were on that tweet, but I've had a few more. Somebody mentioned Clay and PYR. I will get back to them and I will cover them on next week's video, but I got to fly through this video this morning. I'm doing a little bit of travelling today, so that's going to be it. If you got any assets you want me to cover, drop them in the comments. Follow me on Twitter to interact with me for daily tweets or information. I've got plenty of info going out on there. Or in general, if you just want to chat, drop into my DMs about anything. Somebody actually dropped into my DMs the other day and asked about the most preferred way to off-ramp crypto. I'm there to help. I'm not anyone. I'm not got a paid platform. I'm not got anything like that. If you want help, it's free. Just give me a shout on Twitter on my inbox, and I'll happily help you out. But that's it. It is Friday. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll catch you next week.